So you want to be a six-figure hairstylist. I feel like all of us dream of being a six-figure hairstylist, and I also feel like it's something that a lot of us may have at one point in time, or maybe still do feel like is unattainable. And largely because if you search a hairstylist income on Google, it's going to show you like $20,000 a year. And let's be real, that's not enough money to live on no matter where you live at. I'm going to share my personal story today. I am a hairstylist and salon owner in Western North Carolina, and this channel is completely for you, hairstylists and salon owners, for tips and tricks on how to build your business. And today we're talking about money. Tip number one is to become a specialist in a service. And I feel like a lot of times most people are going to be like, oh, become a specialist in extensions. And while that is what a lot of us do, and that is an amazing money-making career, there are so many ways that you can specialize in a service and make $100,000 a year. So for me personally, extensions are something that I've always loved, I've always worn, and I enjoy thoroughly. But I have girls who work for me that literally do not enjoy extensions whatsoever, nor do they have any desire to do extensions. And so we have girls that specialize in vivid colors, cutting, colors, blonding, literally anything you can possibly think of that you can specialize in, you can make six figures on. And yes, hair cutting is a specialty that is well needed in the industry right now. I feel like that is something that we lack in our salon as a hair cutting specialist, and they are so hard to come by. So if that is something that you are interested in, widespread across the US or wherever you live, personally, I feel like hair cutting specialists are hard to come by. And it's something that you could make a ton of money on because your clients are going to be willing to pay the extra money for someone who specializes in a specific cut. Once you've decided the service that you want to specialize in, you are going to completely go all in on that service, meaning you're going to stop taking a lot of the services that you don't enjoy doing anymore, and you are going to take every class you can possibly find to better your skills and be the absolute best at that service. So you want to be certified over and over and over and over again and being the best because you want to position yourself as the go-to person for X service. So along with picking your service that you want to specialize in, you also want to decide who your dream client is. And I'm not talking just your target market here. I want you to get very specific. Give this girl a name. So let's just say your dream client is Sally. And you want to say Sally lives in this part of town. She makes this much money. She's a stay-at-home mom. She does yoga on the weekends. Whatever it is, come up with your dream client that you would love to have in your chair, that you get to talk to and enjoy your time with, and that you actually love doing their hair, because having a chair full of dream clients is going to make you much more apt to make six figures because you enjoy being with them and they enjoy being with you, versus a bunch of people that you just don't really click with. Because the reality is we're all human and you're not going to love every single person who sits in your chair. So you have to kind of weed those people out so that you can make room for your dream clientele. Once you have that person specifically picked out and you know who you're trying to market to, that's when you're going to start your marketing strategy. This is a whole other video in itself, but you want to make sure that every post that you make online is specifically tailored to Sally. So whatever Sally likes, whatever she would be interested in, whatever post is going to just like draw her attention, you need to think about her every single time that you post on Instagram. And if you're not thinking about her and you don't think that it's going to attract her, then don't post that. You only want to post things that are going to attract your specific clientele. I already touched on this tip a little bit, but invest in education. Education is so important. You cannot show up to work every day and charge these high prices and expect for someone to actually want to pay them if you are not specialized in your services. So if you say you get out of cosmetology school, you work a couple of years, and you've barely taken any continuing education, and you randomly post on Instagram that, oh, now I am a specialist in blonding, like, no one's going to believe you. No one's going to be like, oh yeah, she is the girl to go to, because they haven't seen the proof that you have done the extra work. You're just some regular old hairstylist that's done the exact same thing that Joe Schmo down the road has done, and that doesn't stand out to a client. You need to invest in yourself and invest in the education that you need to actually be the best, not just pretend to be the best. So going along with charging those high prices, that means raising your prices. It is absolutely okay to be higher than a salon owner, higher than the highest person in your town. It literally does not matter who you are, who you're around, and what the salon right next to you is charging. You have to really do your numbers and know exactly what your expenses are to run your business, because number one, yours are going to be different than anybody else's. And then also number two, knowing what you're worth. So what you want to make hourly, what you want to take home, and also your product cost, all of those things factored in. You need to know what you want to be making, and you need to raise your prices to adjust to that. Along with that, if you are fully booked already, which is a great sign, and you may not already be making six figures if you're fully booked, you need to see, okay, where do I need to take out clients? Where do I need to take out services to be able to make room for this dream client? And so if you are fully booked, the best way of doing this is to raise your prices, and the clients will weed themselves out, and you'll have room for people who are able to afford your services and value your work. All right, so this one's a little bit more of a practical tip, not that the other ones weren't, but it is very numbers based. You need to do the math. So like I said, you need to figure out exactly how much you want to make. And let's just say that's $100,000. So you're going to put $100,000 at the top of your sheet, and you're going to work your way down, taking out taxes, your rent, your product cost, your drive to work, literally everything that you have to pay for, insurance, all of those things, because we are, most of us, self-employed. So there are so many things that you have to pay for that someone with a typical job doesn't have to. So if you really look at it and do the numbers, you may be coming out way lower than you think that you are. And if you want to be taking home six figures, then you need to know your numbers and actually do the math and figure out how much you need to make per day, and then figure out what services need to be priced at for you to actually hit those numbers. Make it very practical, very numbers based, not emotional. Oh, I need to make this kind of money, or I want to make this kind of money. You need to know what you actually need and then work from there on an income goal. More than anything, and this falls into all of the different categories, you need to be setting yourself apart. Making yourself out to be the specialist, the go-to girl or guy, whatever, is going to make you so much more busy and so much more apt to get those clients that you actually want to have in your chair. Making six figures or more than six figures is so attainable. Literally does not matter what your income goal is, where you live, what kind of town you live in. I live in a tiny town in Western North Carolina, and it is still more than possible for me, and I know that it is possible for you. I can make more videos specifically on each one of these topics if you would like to, and do a deep dive into anything that you would like. So if you have questions, make sure to leave them down below, and if this video was helpful for you or if you enjoyed it, make sure to leave me a thumbs up, because it really does help out my channel. And of course, stay tuned, because I post new videos every single week just like this one. Hope you guys have a wonderful week.